day 183. So today was, kind of a normal day. I went to work, came home, and then I waited until as late as possible to go before I'd hit sunset. I ended up going kayaking down on Lady Bird Lake. During rush hour, it's about a 30-minute drive. Coming back, it's about 60 minutes. So kind of doubles, but I love kayaking down there. I kayak from a place called Mopac to the dam because even though we say it's a lake, it's really just two dams that hold the water still, which is really nice. And if you get there late enough that you can still do, an hour and a half out on the lake, there's actually a cliff wall on one side, and the sun has set over the cliff wall. And so it's not as hot because you're on the water and you're in the shade. So that's why I go so late. I go I leave the house at 6:15. I get down there by 7, and I'm on the water at 7, so that I'm then moving around and kayaking. And the whole distance. Now this is based on the road. The road's about 1.7, so I'm guessing that with the loop that I do, it's about 1.5 there and 1.5 back, so I do about 3 miles of kayaking. I keep it under an hour to get that loop done. So I'd say I'm decent. There's some parts where you have to go slow because the water is fairly low, even when it's, after the rainy season, although you can't actually get on the water after rainy season, but when you can get on the water after rainy season, then it's still, you have to make sure that you don't hit some rocks in some certain areas. So I do have a spot where I slow down. But yeah, so while I know for Switzerland I need to be focusing on, biking and hiking, that's just not completely possible right now because A, I don't have the battery for my bike, and B, I need to be able to hike in the mornings, which I can only really do on the weekends. And so if I hike in the afternoon, I can do it. But like I mentioned yesterday, I ended up doing one up and then getting kind of partway around the loop and having to come back because of the heat. And so I have to make sure that I'm, doing it at the right time and that I've got enough water and all that fun stuff. So even with the biking, right, the morning will be fine, but the afternoon I have to make sure I have enough water on me. I've got to make sure that I have like a cooling towel or something to keep me lucid while biking along the road. So, there's things that I am going to do, but I mean, the main reason I did kayaking, right, is, and I mentioned this probably a month or so ago, that I was getting compression wear for my arms, and I do think it's working. So here, I'll let you show you. So that's my arm right now, a little wiggly. So it's a little, touch it, it's a little loose, but it's not as bad as what it was. So I do think both working out, so using said muscles that are underneath, and the compression wear, basically telling my skin, hey, you're not needed, go away. I think both of those are helping. So hopefully I do some compression wear on my thighs as well nowadays, and my jeans I keep them on the tighter side because I want to make sure that both my stomach and my thighs feel some compression so that they too know to get smaller because that's what I'm going for, right? So anyways, I'm going to keep fasting and keep doing what I'm doing, and hopefully I'll be ready for Switzerland when it happens.